Ladies and gentlemen, Lance Armstrong, your winner today, Ironman 70.3 Florida. Lance, share with us your thoughts coming into the race today.
Well, in terms of I don't know what exactly, but I wanted to have. I've raced a lot for this first part of the season, but I've yet to, in my opinion or in my mind, yet to really figure it out. These are hard races, and there's more than just a swim and a bike and a run. I think the eating and the drinking part is the fourth and fifth sport, and those are the parts that I haven't figured out. So I really was focused on that today. Tried some new things and seemed to have nailed it today. I felt. Oh, thank you. I felt solid on the bike. I caught those guys pretty quick and just put my head down and stayed within my my range of what I thought I could ride at, which today, every time I rode in that range and looked at the speedometer, I was going almost 30 miles an hour, so I figured that was okay. And then eased up a little at the end and knew that I had to still run a half marathon in the heat and with a couple of hills per lap, and stuck it on my pace, which I thought I could hold, and held it pretty good. But good day for me. Great crowds.
Lance, seeing you come out of the transition area 2 out onto the run, we had a time on you, unofficial as it may have been. Just under 25 minutes for the first lap, just over 25 minutes on the second lap. The consistency and the timing, that strategy had to be very crucial to ensure that gap, right?
Well, it's easy to make mistakes in these races in a lot of places. It's certainly easy to make a mistake on the bike, but it's also on a 3-lap run, it's easy to get excited, start quick, and then feel so on the second lap and be walking on the third. I've done a couple of races this year where I was doing that, so I know. So I just tried to stay, despite feeling really good, I tried to stay within myself. I'm pretty avid with the GPS, so I just followed the GPS and made sure that I was holding my pace, which was 5:45s, 5:50s, and didn't try to go any quicker, and worked.
According to our timing results, a sub 1:16 half finish off. That's pretty good. That'll work, won't it?
Well, it worked today. I don't know. It's there are guys in this sport that can ride well and get off and run 1:11, 1:12. And so you just have to figure out how you take your medicine, and if you can ride close to 2 hours and run 1:15, 1:16, I think you'll always, and assuming you swim near the front, you'll always be in contention for the win. But a guy like Crowe or even like we had in Panama, even in that heat in Panama, Bevan Doherty gets off and runs 1:12 and caught me when I ran 1:18. So you gotta stay consistent and again, just stay on top of the hydration and nutrition, and if you're fueled up, then and well trained, of course, a lot of good things can happen.
The kid is back.
The kid is man. Woo, that's going back there. 2 final questions. A man who's had numerous wins on the world stage, getting back in a win after so many years. There's a lot of folks who don't even remember you used to do triathlons, but a win today, can you summarize it in a few words? What it means to you?
Well, it means it feels good. I can't deny or I can't lie that I didn't want to come back to this sport and win some races. I wasn't sure what I'd get myself into in Panama, but in Galveston and St. Croix, I wanted to be in contention for the win, and I wasn't there. I certainly came here with the goal of winning, but there's a lot of great athletes in this sport, and you show up, and that's why we have the race. They shoot the gun, and the best man normally wins. And so, for me, it's cool to win. But even more importantly, it's great to be 41 years old, be fit, be healthy, be cancer free, and and I don't know. It was maybe Florida's good. Last time I won a triathlon was 22 years ago in Florida, so it's. That sport of cycling borrowed me for a couple decades, and now I've come back to my roots, as they say.
Yeah, welcome back, exactly. And I think that you and all of your successes, I think there are a lot of folks out here who connect very much and share that bond that is cancer survivorship. And to see the face of survivorship so successful and so meaningful. I think that means a lot to a lot of people, doesn't it? Final thoughts, Lance. We've come into a new site with a new community. Can you share with us what the engagement was out there on the course? What sort of things were people sharing with you? What kind of love were you getting from Haines City and Polk County?
Well, it's this setup with the laps on the run is conducive to spectators, and first of all, there were a ton of spectators, which is great. Secondly, for me, it was cool to see so many of them rocking the Livestrong gear, which makes it feel great. And a lot of familiar faces out there. It's cool to run by and see people, and when you're having one of those days where you feel good, you can actually see people you recognize and go, hey, what's up, man? And that feels nice. But like I always say, these races wouldn't happen if it wasn't for the police, the fire, the EMC, or the EMTs, the volunteers, the fans, and so thanks to those guys for nobody. You know, they got a lot of things they can choose to do on the weekend. They don't have to come stand out here in the heat and hand up water or hand up Coke or Gatorade or gels, and it's just really cool to have that kind of support. And you know, I had a heck of a good time, and look forward to coming back. Any shout-outs? Let's see here. Kona! Okay, I don't know. Yeah, Kona. I'm going to Kona tomorrow, if that counts. I don't know. I'm racing again in 2 weeks, so hopefully in Kona at the Half Ironman in Honu. So we'll see.
Hey, Lance, how about your first triathlon in Florida 22 years ago? Can you tell us about that, please?
Well, that wasn't my first. That was the last 22 years ago in Aventura, and actually Steve T-Bond was the race director. I saw him on the course today. At the end of the first lap, here he is right here. T-Bond jumps in the middle, and it's good to see familiar faces. Jerry and Angie Kelly were out there. We had Angie with the pom-poms, but I don't know. I've done tries in Florida and South Florida for a long, long time. This is my first experience further north, and again, it's just great to be back. Very different than what I did before. Back then, Steve, how long was the race back then? It was a little over an hour. It was a sprint distance, and so the difference between an hour and 4 hours, well, at the time I was 18. An hour is good for an 18-year-old. 4 hours is good for a 40-year-old. So, thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion today, Lance Armstrong.